11. Humble sweetheart, Emma Stone. In recent years, Emma Stone has had a string of successes. Forbes even rated her as being Hollywood's highest-paid actress in 2017. That's mainly due to the success of La La Land the previous year. She's only 29, and although people are already talking about her as a has-been, she's going to find it seriously tough to top the successes she's already enjoyed. She's already tasted a tremendous amount of success. Very often, when a person in their 20s achieves such a level of popularity, their personalities change for the worse. They become over-exuberant, brash and go off the rails. Many become too big for their boots. But that did not happen with Emma Stone. Her feet have remained firmly on the ground. That's why many deem her to be their glamorous celebrity BFF. She has this girl next door persona about her. Emma has spoken to Hello Giggles about how she tries to stay humble in such a crazy industry. One of the ways she does this and tries not to get swept away with it all is just to focus on the here and now. I'm trying not to think about that. I just focus on what I've got to do at any one moment, and don't necessarily think about where it's all leading. 12. Big Ego, STACEY. STACEY has been in the news quite a bit of late. That's not because of her prowess as an actress. She's been there, done that. As an actress, she's famed for starring in the film Clueless. But she certainly has been. The majority of people know her due to her career as a TV host. Fox News hired her in 2014 for cultural analysis and commentary. It's fair to say that things didn't go according to plan. She certainly made an impact, although it probably wasn't the impact Fox News was hoping she'd have. Then add her political endeavors into the mix. It's been one eventful career. STACEY has just withdrawn from the congressional race. She's also been fired by Fox News. There weren't many people shedding tears for STACEY. She's got an almighty ego and it's landed her in a lot of trouble over the years. STACEY gets noticed and gets herself out there by being controversial. She's made plenty of enemies in the process. Some may say she got a bit of an ego. Others would say she's just not a very nice person. As Mercury News reported, STACEY is arguably the most hated woman in America today. It's because of moments like this. President Barack Obama doesn't care about terrorism. She wanted to scrap Black History Month, has said she wanted to free people from the shackles of a plantation mentality, and most recently she come out in support of Kanye West's controversial statement saying that slavery was a choice. 13. Humble sweetheart, LYNCH. LYNCH is another actress who took quite a bit of time to find the spotlight. For years she was trying to make it big, climb through the ranks of Tinseltown. She tried her hand at numerous different roles. Jane has been involved in a number of projects over the years, including on Broadway. She's done TV shows, films, and is an author too. After years and years of hard work, Jane finally landed her breakthrough role. It was her role as Sue Sylvester in Glee. Portraying that ruthless cheerleading coach made Jane a household name worldwide. But Jane's far from like that in real life. She's a headstrong woman but isn't ruthless. She doesn't have an ego and is actually very humble. Huffington Post has said as much. They reported that Jane is very humble and introspective. She's confident, occasionally comes out with bold comments, but those shouldn't be misconstrued as any form of cocky arrogance. Jane is humble but is also a very self-assured woman. She's confident about what she does and owns what she does and says. Jane has said that she has no fear. It's not her ego. It's just that Jane exudes confidence. Good on her. 14. Big Ego, Claire Danes. Claire Danes, despite only being 39, has been around for quite some time. She first achieved mainstream success in 1994 when she starred in My So-Called Life. She won a Golden Globe Award for that role. Her career just gone from strength to strength. More recently, Claire has gained plenty of recognition for her role in Homeland. Her award cabinet's pretty full. As her popularity has grown, and as the space in her trophy cabinet has gotten smaller, her ego's also grown. With all the success that has come Claire's way, it would have been tough for her to remain grounded. She's done her best. Speaking to the edit, Claire has revealed that she'd been seeing a therapist since the age of 6. She sees the therapist for a variety of different issues. Claire also just generally has a fascination for psychology. Perhaps if she psychoanalyzed herself a bit more, she'd be able to see what other people see in her. There's one incident that demonstrates that Claire has a big ego. It shows her ego, but also that she's selfish and arrogant. Her own words. Claire got a lot of heat for having an illicit relationship with the lead Huda. She told US Magazine that she was selfish and arrogant. Her ego was massive at the time and she didn't care who she trampled on. In this instance it was Mary Louise Parker who got burned. 15. Humble sweetheart, Meryl Streep. As Meryl Streep has gotten older, her career begun to slow down. She's begun to be more selective in her roles. But she has a reputation, one she's earned over decades in the film industry. Meryl has a reputation of being one of the greatest actresses in the world. Plenty of polls put her at the top spot. Having all of this attention heaped upon her, it would have been easy for Meryl to get carried away with her success. Plenty of actors and actresses have done it. But she didn't. Other celebrities succumbed to the lifestyle, the perks of fame and fortune. A lot have consequently developed almighty egos and then get knocked down a peg or two. Not Meryl. She's remained grounded throughout all the highs. This is apparent when you listen to her acceptance speeches. She doesn't fake humility or gratitude like a lot of actresses do. She's sincere in her appreciation. Her humility comes from deep within. As reported by 60andMe, the way Meryl acts shows that she respects herself and others. She's all about wanting to acquire happiness. Meryl realizes that she can only achieve this by being a decent human being, not by acquiring fame and riches. This is a contributing factor as to why Meryl is one of the most loved actresses in the world. 16. Big ego, Jeanette Hubert. Read Jeanette Hubert's name, and unless you're a movie and TV aficionado, in all likelihood you don't have a clue who she is. But set eyes on her photo, and the memories will come flooding back. Jeanette Hubert is famed for being Aunt Vivian in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That hit show of the 90s is still played across the world today. It was a massive success. Those who've seen the show would recall that Jeanette left the show after the 3rd season. That's because Will and the rest of the cast members just could take her attitude. She had an almighty ego, and in the end, she had to be let go. Will Smith described what she was like. As reported by Capital Extra, Will gave an interview in which he said, "I can say straight up that Jeanette Hubert wanted the show to be the Aunt Viv of Bel-Air show because I know she is going to dog me in the press. She has basically gone from $250,000 a year to nothing. She's mad now, but she's been mad all along." She said once, "I've been in the business for 10 years and this snotty-nosed punk comes along and gets the show. No matter what, to her I'm just the Antichrist." If that doesn't say she has a big ego, I don't know what will. But anyway, let's include some statements from Jeanette's son on the show, played by Alfonso Ribeiro. Basically, at the end of the day, she was crazy. She was nuts. There were days when we were all on the set and she would literally go off on people, and it got to a point by the time the 2nd season came around where we were like, this is unacceptable. 17. Humble sweetheart, Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba used to be an A-lister. There's no doubt about that. But her career plummeted in recent years. Hollywood won't cast her anymore. Like every actress, Jessica's had her fair share of flops. She had UPS, but also plenty of downs over the years. She hasn't landed the major role in Absolute Yachts. A lot of her movies have tanked, and have ended up being downright embarrassing. Jessica has realized this. She's begun focusing more and more on her business ventures. She's said she's gone down this route thanks to rejection. But Jessica doesn't really care. As Looper reported, Jessica said, "I really stopped acting when I was 27. It's not where I spend my full energy." Despite once reaching the dizzying heights of Hollywood, Jessica never got carried away. She came from humble beginnings, and when everything took off, she found it hard to cope. She said she was seriously insecure and struggled to accept the status she acquired. That's in part why her head wasn't up in the clouds. Now she transitioned into a businesswoman and is a doting mother. She's said being a mom has turned her life around. Motherhood allows her to keep everything in perspective, and focus on the important things, such as family life. 18. Biggest ego, SHANNEN Doherty. Shannen Doherty has been through a lot over the years. The 47-year-old achieved fame in the 80s. But her popularity really took off due to two of her most iconic roles in the 90s. She starred in Vienna 90210 and then Charm, and these were the roles that propelled Shannen to superstardom. But throughout her period in the limelight, Shannen had to contend with numerous health issues. In the late 90s, she was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Most recently she battled cancer. In 2015 we discovered Shannen had a pretty severe form of breast cancer. After intensive treatment, in 2017 came the news that the cancer was in remission. There was an outpouring of love from the media and all corners of the celebrity world. For a while, it seemed as if a lot of people had chosen to forget about Shannen's reputation. Shannen, at the height of her fame, acquired the reputation for being a bit of a diva. Many deemed her to be rude and obnoxious. Her bad behavior sullied her public image. People magazine described her as being Hollywood's iconic bad girl of the 90s. Her ego was out of control, from feuding with co-stars, to just generally disrespecting everyone on set. Shannen wasn't exactly the most popular woman in Tinseltown. 19. Humble sweetheart, OCTAVIA Spencer. OCTAVIA Spencer is a 45-year-old American actress and author. She made her debut in the movie industry back in 1996. But she had to wait for success. OCTAVIA kept striving to succeed, and it eventually did happen. Her breakthrough role came in 2011. She starred in The Help, in which she played a maid. She received a ton of accolades for that role. It eventually took off for OCTAVIA. OCTAVIA the star actress was born. She's continued to build upon that success. In the meantime, she's started the children's book series too. Look at OCTAVIA's body of work, and due to the sheer size of it, you'd say she has a pretty impressive filmography. But although 2011 was the year she came to worldwide attention, she did have to wait for it. She struggled on for all those years and found success later in life. Later than most, in fact. This has kept her humble. OCTAVIA knows what it's like to try and fail, and try again. She's told Fox for Kansas City that overcoming the odds and keep striving for success, to be the actress she knew she could be, wasn't easy. She knows the struggle and knows it could happen in the future. Therefore, she's not going to take anything for granted, and is going to try and stay at that level and remain humble in the process. 20. Biggest ego, Hilary Duff. A lot of you might have read Hilary Duff's name and felt shocked at the idea that she could have a big ego. First of all, I think we can all agree that Hilary is a has-been actress. She was a teenage acting sensation. A lot of teens grew up watching her on screen and could relate to the characters she portrayed. Lizzie McGuire. Hilary has said she could relate to her too. She had a tough time moving on, but she did eventually start getting other acting gigs. She also went down the music route, but nothing she's done has come close to matching the success of Lizzie McGuire. Hilary's done a bit of this, a bit of that, has put more and more focus on her musical endeavors, and has taken time out to concentrate on family life. In terms of her acting, she's no longer getting many roles or offers. Hilary seems really sweet and totally genuine, but there have been incidences which demonstrate that she has an almighty ego. Hilary's mom has touched on that herself. She told EW that she left her role as Lizzie McGuire in a huff. Lizzie wanted to leave because she wasn't feeling the love, wasn't being given the respect she deserved by Disney. Disney says otherwise. Others say it was Hilary getting too big for her boots, having a teenage tantrum. Only the parties involved will know for sure.